Jerusalem, a city no larger than a modest hilltop. Yet across 5,000 years, it has become the epicenter of faith, power, and conflict. Revered by Jews, Christians, and Muslims alike, this sacred ground has inspired prayers and provoked wars, changing hands more than 40 times. Each empire, each faith has left its mark here, but the scars of conquest never fully fade. They echo even now into our 21st century world. So, how did it all begin? We journey back nearly 5,000 years to a small settlement nestled around Gihon Spring. A vital source of water in a dry and rugged landscape, it became the heartbeat of early Jerusalem. By 2000 BC, Egyptian records mention Rusalimum, a walled town built by Canaanites, its stone defenses protecting the spring like a sacred jewel. In 1500 BC, Jerusalem falls under the Egyptian New Kingdom, becoming a vassal city in a vast empire that stretches from the Sahara to Anatolia. But time is unkind to empires. By the 12th century BC, the mighty civilizations of the Eastern Mediterranean begin to collapse. It's a storm of famine, migrations, and political chaos, a moment historians call the Late Bronze Age collapse. Out of that wreckage, smaller kingdoms rise, including one that would forever change Jerusalem's destiny, the Israelites. Around 1000 BC, the Israelite leader King David captures Jerusalem and declares it the capital of a united kingdom. His son, King Solomon, takes a bold step. He builds a magnificent temple, a place to house the Ark of the Covenant and solidify the city's spiritual role. That temple, gleaming, massive, sacred, becomes the center of Judaism. But Solomon's kingdom soon fractures. In the north, Israel. In the south, Judah, with Jerusalem still its heart. For the next 4 centuries, Jerusalem thrives, but it is never at peace. Egypt and Assyria take turns trying to dominate the region. Then, in the 6th century BC, a new power arrives, Babylon. King Nebuchadnezzar II lays siege to the city. He succeeds. But when the Jewish people rebel, he returns in 587 BC, furious. The city is destroyed. Solomon's temple is reduced to rubble. Survivors are taken into exile, a devastating moment remembered as the Babylonian captivity. But even in exile, hope remains. In 539 BC, Cyrus the Great of Persia conquers Babylon, and in a remarkable decree, he allows the Jews to return to Jerusalem to rebuild their homes, and most importantly, their temple. This second temple stands as a symbol of renewal. Over the next 200 years, waves of returning exiles restore Jerusalem. But freedom is fleeting. In 332 BC, another conqueror arrives, one who reshapes the world, Alexander the Great. After Alexander's death, Jerusalem is tugged between rival empires, first the Ptolemies of Egypt, then the Seleucids of Syria. Greek culture seeps into Jewish life, language, customs, even religion. But this Hellenization sparks deep unrest. In the 1600s BC, a devout Jewish faction rises up. Led by the Maccabees, they recapture Jerusalem and purify the temple. This victory, known as the Maccabean Revolt, is still celebrated today during Hanukkah. Out of this triumph, the Hasmonean kingdom is born, a rare moment of Jewish independence. But by 37 BC, it ends. A new ruler, Herod the Great, seizes the city with Roman support. He renovates the temple, turning it into a marvel of the ancient world. But Herod rules as a client king of Rome. Within decades, Roman governors take direct control, and in these turbulent times, a Jewish preacher walks Jerusalem's streets, Jesus of Nazareth. His teachings gather followers. His crucifixion stirs rebellion. His resurrection, they say, offers salvation. Thus, Christianity is born and Jerusalem becomes its cradle. But Rome is not kind to dissent. In 66 AD, the Jews rise up. Rome responds with fury. In 70 AD, Jerusalem is destroyed once again. The Second Temple burns. Only one outer wall survives, today known as the Western Wall or Wailing Wall. After the destruction, Jerusalem becomes a Roman colony, Aelia Capitolina. Jews are banned. A temple to Jupiter rises where Solomon's once stood. But change is coming. In the 4th century, Emperor Constantine embraces Christianity. His mother, Helena, travels to Jerusalem and identifies the site of Christ's crucifixion. There, the Church of the Holy Sepulchre is built, one of Christianity's holiest sites. By the 7th century, the Roman Empire is fading. A new faith rises in the Arabian Peninsula, Islam. In 638 AD, the Muslim Caliph Umar enters Jerusalem peacefully. Christians and Jews are granted protection. Soon the Dome of the Rock and Al-Aqsa Mosque are built. Jerusalem becomes Islam's third holiest city, joining Mecca and Medina. For centuries, the three Abrahamic faiths coexist. But in 1099, the First Crusade arrives. European knights breach the walls. They massacre Muslims and Jews alike, reclaiming Jerusalem in the name of Christendom. The Crusaders rebuild churches, repurpose mosques, and establish the Kingdom of Jerusalem. But in 1187, Saladin returns the city to Muslim hands. Unlike the Crusaders, he spares civilians, a move that echoes through history. From the 13th to 16th centuries, Jerusalem is tossed between sultans, crusaders, and eventually the Ottoman Empire. In 1517, Suleiman the Magnificent rebuilds the walls still standing today. For 4 centuries, the city is quiet. Sacred, yes, but peripheral. A patchwork of Jews, Christians, Muslims, and Armenians, each in their own quarter. Then, the 20th century dawns. In 1917, the British capture Jerusalem from the Ottomans. But with conquest comes conflict. They promise a Jewish homeland, but also Arab independence. Both sides feel betrayed. Immigration surges. Tensions rise. In 1947, the UN proposes a partition, Jewish and Arab states, with Jerusalem internationalized. But war erupts. By 1949, Jerusalem is split, west under Israel, east under Jordan. In 1967, Israel captures the east, reunifying the city under its control, but deepening the rift. To this day, Jerusalem remains at the center of global faith, geopolitical struggle, and eternal hope. A place where prayers rise from synagogues, churches, and mosques, sometimes together, sometimes in silence. 5,000 years, 40 conquests, one city, may its next chapter be written in peace. End visual, drone shot pulling away from the old city at dusk. Fade out.